Are you tired of waiting for motivation to strike? What if I told you that the key to achieving your goals isn't waiting, but forcing yourself to act? Even when you don't feel like it, keep watching to discover how you can take control today. Imagine waking up every day with a clear purpose and unstoppable momentum. What if I told you that the real key to success isn't waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal motivation, but forcing yourself to take action no matter how small or difficult the step may seem? In today's video, we're diving deep into the science of taking action, how to push through resistance, and why this simple practice could be the game changer you've been looking for. If you've ever struggled with procrastination or felt stuck, this video is your wake-up call. What you choose to do today, regardless of how you feel, will lay the groundwork for tomorrow's success. So push yourself to take action and make it happen. There's a saying, you don't need to be great to start, but you must start to become great. We all have big aspirations, goals, and dreams, but sometimes it feels overwhelming to make progress. Do you ever find yourself stuck? You know exactly what needs to be done, yet something would then hold you back from taking that first step. But what if I told you that you already have everything required to overcome those barriers and get things done? What if I could show you how to break through the resistance keeping you stagnant? Reclaim control of your progress. In this video, I'm going to reveal 10 powerful strategies to force yourself into action and achieve your goals. You'll discover practical, straightforward techniques to push past excuses, stay focused, and make meaningful strides forward. If you're ready to take ownership in our ship, turn your dreams into reality, stick around. This could mark the beginning of a transformative journey. Let's dive into the first strategy. Number one, realize that no one else will do it for you. No one is coming to save you, build your dreams for you, or pick you up every time you fall. The responsibility lies with you. It always has at first. This truth might sound tough. Take a moment to reflect. Isn't it empowering to know that your life is entirely in your hands? Isn't it exciting to realize that your future isn't shaped by luck or someone else's choices? By your own actions. That's the beauty of life. It's yours to design. You need to stop waiting for the ideal moment or the perfect person to come along and make things easier. Waiting is a trap. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to start. The reality is the more time you spend waiting for someone to notice your potential will hand you an opportunity, the more likely you'll remain stuck in the same place year after year. Let's be clear, potential without action has no value. What truly matters is how you use what you've been given. You need to look yourself in the mirror and acknowledge this is on me. Take a moment to ask yourself, what have you been putting off, hoping that someone else will make it easier for you? Is it starting that business, taking charge of your health, learning a skill that could transform your life? Here's the truth. The longer you wait, the heavier that burden of regret becomes, and carrying that regret later will be far worse than the discomfort of starting today. You might think, but it's hard. Of course, it's hard. Anything worth achieving is hard. Success isn't meant to come easy, and that's precisely what makes it worthwhile, the effort you put in. Even when you don't feel like it, builds a kind of inner strength that's unshakable. It proves to you that you're capable of more than you thought possible, and that belief in yourself, it's priceless. Now let's talk about excuses. They can be comforting, can't they? It's easy to say, I don't have the time, or I don't have the resources, or I'm just not ready. But let's face it, excuses don't pay the bills. They don't build legacies. They don't get the job done. What gets the job done is discipline, commitment, action. And the best part, these are things within your control. They're skills you can develop. So stop feeding your excuses and start feeding your goals. Let's be honest, this journey won't be easy. There will be days when you're tired, frustrated, and tempted to give up. But those are the days that matter most. Those moments are what separate the achievers from everyone else. Anyone can show up when things are easy, but it takes something special to show up when it's hard, and that's something special. It's already in you if you're waiting for motivation. Let me save you some time. Motivation is unreliable. It's fleeting. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward. When motivation disappears, it's what gets you out of bed. When your alarm rings, keeps you focused in the face of distractions, and ultimately bridges the gap between mediocrity and success. Take full ownership of your life. Decide right now that you're done waiting, done making excuses, and ready to force yourself into action because no one else is going to do it for you. No one will care about your success as much as you do. And that's not a problem, it's a gift. Why? Because it means you are in control. You decide how far you go, how hard you work, and what you achieve. Start small. If you must, you don't need to conquer the world in a day, but you do need to take that first step. Even if it feels uncomfortable, push through the resistance, build habit of showing up for yourself every day. Over time, you'll see the results, the progress, and most importantly, you'll see the person you're becoming, the person who takes action and gets it done. Remember, your life is your responsibility, no one else's. It's up to you to take control, take action, and make things happen. So stop waiting, stop hoping, and stop depending on anyone else to do it for you. Force yourself to get it done because your future depends on it. Trust me, the rewards will be worth every ounce of effort. Number 2, commit to a routine and stick to it. Success isn't about putting in effort only when you feel like it. It's about showing up consistently every single day. The key to achieving that is by committing to a routine. A routine isn't just a schedule or a plan, it's a structure. It's the framework that keeps you grounded even when life gets hectic. The beauty of having a routine is removes uncertainty from your day when you know exactly what to do and when to do it. Hesitation disappears. You stop wasting time debating whether or not to act because the decision has already been made. It's in your plan. All that's left is for you to execute it. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do you think they wake up each day and just wing it? Absolutely not. They have routines they follow without fail. Why? Because routines build habits, and habits create results. When you commit to a routine, you're laying the foundation for consistent progress. Start by identifying what truly matters. What actions will bring you closer to your goals? Is it exercising, refining your craft, studying, networking, or developing a skill? Whatever it is, write it down. Be clear about your priorities. A solid routine begins with clarity. There's no room for confusion. Here's an important tip. Make your routine realistic. It's easy to fall into the trap of designing a schedule that looks perfect on paper but is impossible to follow. Don't aim to impress others with an overly ambitious plan. Instead, create a routine that works for you. Start small. If you need to focus on consistency over intensity, it's better to stick with a manageable routine than to burn out trying to do too much all at once. Once you've built your routine, the next step is non-negotiable. Stick to it. This is where many people stumble. They start strong, but when the initial excitement fades, they let their routine slip. Don't be that person. Treat your routine like a contract with yourself. A contract. You cannot break your routine is your commitment to your goals. Breaking it means breaking that commitment. There will be days when following your routine feels nearly impossible, when you're tired, distracted, or unmotivated, but those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when sticking to your routine proves that you're serious about achieving your goals. Anyone can stick to a routine when it's easy. The real challenge and the real growth comes when you stick to it during tough times. To make it work, eliminate distractions, set yourself up for success by creating an environment that supports your routine. If you're trying to focus, eliminate anything that distracts you. If you're working on improving your health, stock your kitchen with foods that nourish your body instead of sabotaging your progress. Your environment plays a critical role in whether you stick to your routine, make it work for you, not against you. Track your progress. One of the most motivating aspects of a routine is able to see how far you've come. Use a journal, an app, or another method to measure your consistency. When you look back and see that you've consistently shown up, it fuels your momentum. It's a powerful reminder that you're capable of staying committed. But here's an important point. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you miss a day, life happens. What truly matters isn't perfection, it's percents. If you slip up, don't let it become an excuse to give up entirely, but get back on track as soon as possible. AM day doesn't define you. How you respond does. Your routine is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's daily proof that you're serious about creating the life you envision. So make that commitment, build your routine, and stick to it. No matter what, in the end, the results you achieve will reflect the routines you maintain. Number 3, acknowledge that waiting only lasts time. Waiting is one of the easiest ways to lose time, and lost time is something you can never recover. Every moment spent waiting for the perfect opportunity, ideal conditions, or enough confidence is a moment wasted. Here's the truth: nothing changes while you wait. Waiting doesn't solve problems, build skills, or create results. Only action does. When you sit back and wait, you're essentially telling yourself the false story that tomorrow will somehow be better or easier. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Waiting doesn't bring you closer to your goals, it pushes them further away. Whereas it builds a habit of procrastination, and once that habit takes root, it's difficult to break. Take a moment to ask yourself, how much time have you already lost waiting? How many goals have been delayed because you convinced yourself you weren't ready? Reflect on those missed opportunities as things. Doesn't it? That pain is a wake-up call. While you can't rewind the clock, you can make a choice right now. Will you keep waiting, or will you start moving? Let's be honest, waiting often feels safe. It gives the illusion of avoiding failure or disappointment. But in reality, waiting only delays progress. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to start. Fear grows, excuses multiply, and before you know it, years have passed, leaving you stuck in the same patterns. Waiting isn't safety, it's stagnation. Think about what you want most in life. Is it financial freedom, better health, stronger relationships, mastering your career, or craft? Whatever it is, waiting won't get you there. The gap between where you are and where you want to be can only be closed by action. Every day you wait is a day you could have spent improving, growing, and moving closer to your goals. Let's be honest about why people wait. They wait because they're afraid of failing, looking foolish, or not being good enough. But here's the truth: fear doesn't disappear with time. The only way to overcome fear is to confront it directly. Action is the anti to fear. The moment you start taking steps forward, fear begins to fade. Stop thinking you need to have everything figured out before you begin. You don't. Most people who accomplish great things didn't have all the answers when they started. The process itself teaches you. The mistakes teach you. Waiting for perfection is just an excuse to avoid the effort. But the effort is where growth happens. Time is your most precious resource. You can earn more money, gain new experiences, or rebuild broken relationships, but you can't create more time. Once it's gone forever. So why waste it waiting? Why let another day slip by without making progress toward the life you want? Here's the reality: starting now doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have everything planned out. It just means taking the first step, no matter how small. One step leads to the next, and before you know it, momentum builds. But none of that can happen if you remain stuck in the trap of waiting. You might too tell yourself, I'll start when I have more time, or I'll start when I feel more confident. But these are just comforting lies that keep you in your comfort zone. The truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. Conditions will never be ideal. You have to act despite the uncertainty. You have to create your own momentum. Waiting steals your potential. It traps you in a cycle of someday, but someday isn't on the calendar. All you truly have is today, this moment, this opportunity. Don't waste it. If there's something you've been putting off, do it now. If there's a goal you've been postponing, start working on it today. Even the smallest action is better than none at all. When you accept that waiting only wastes time, you free yourself from the illusion that readiness will come later. Readiness isn't a feeling, it's a choice. Decide today that you're done waiting. Decide that you'll take action. Even if it feels imperfect or the uncomfortable, your future self is counting on you to act now. They're depending on you to take the steps today that will create the life you want tomorrow. Don't let them down. Don't let yourself look back years from now and wonder what might have been if only you'd started sooner. Number 4, use your pain as a driving force. Pain is a powerful force. Everyone experiences it in some form: loss, failure, rejection, or disappointment. Here's the truth: pain can either break you or build you, and the difference lies in how you choose to respond. If you channel it correctly, pain can become the fuel that propels you to achieve things you never imagined. Think about the pain you've experienced in your life. It could be the frustration of unmet goals, regret over wasted opportunities, or the hurt caused by someone you trusted. Whatever it may be, acknowledge it. Don't run from it. Don't bury it. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Pain is real, and the first step in using it is to confront it head on. Most people avoid pain at all costs. They numb it with distractions or push it aside, hoping it will fade. But ignoring pain doesn't make it go away. It lingers beneath the surface, subtly influencing your choices and holding you back. Instead of avoiding it, embrace it. Let it remind you of what you don't want to feel again. Let it drive you to take action to improve, and to rise above pain has a unique way of sharpening your focus. It helps you see what truly matters. It reveals the mistakes you've made and the lessons they hold. It clarifies the people, habits, and situations in your life that no longer serve you. Use that clarity, use it to make better decisions, set meaningful goals, and to pursue them with everything you have. Here's the reality: pain can make you stronger, but only if you allow it to. Every time you endure it, you build resilience. Every time you rise after a setback, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Every time you overcome pain, you grow. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It happens in the struggle and the effort, and in the decision to keep moving forward even when it hurts. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. They didn't reach the top by living easy lives. They faced pain, just like you, failures, rejection, and hardship. But instead of letting their pain define them, they used it to fuel their drive. They let it motivate them to work harder, to improve, and to achieve greatness if they could do it. So one of the most powerful gifts pain can offer is a sense of purpose. When you've suffered, you understand what it feels like to be at your lowest. You know the weight of helplessness, the urge to give up, and the darkness of despair. Use that understanding not to hold you back, but to propel you forward. Turn that pain into fuel. Use it to help yourself rise, and use it to help others who may be walking through similar struggles. Pain has a unique ability to connect us with others, fostering empathy and strength. Don't let your pain be the conclusion of your story. Instead, let it mark the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter defined by resilience, determination, and growth. Let your pain be the reason you work harder, the reason you refuse to settle, the reason you keep pushing forward when others would quit. Pain isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that you're alive, that you're human, and that you possess the strength to overcome it. When you use your pain as a driving force, you reclaim control of your life. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your destiny. Your pain doesn't define you. Your response to it does. You might not have chosen the pain you've endured, but you can choose what you do with it. Let your pain remind you of your strength. Let it reignite the fire within you. The part of you that refuses to surrender, use it as the reason to rise each morning, to put in the work, and to keep moving forward even when the road feels impossible. The pain you feel today is temporary, but the growth it can create is permanent. Imagine looking back one day at all the challenges you faced, knowing you transformed them into something meaningful. Picture yourself reflecting on how you didn't let the pain break you. Instead, you allowed it to build you. You used it as a stepping stone to become the best version of yourself. Number 5, eliminate excuses completely. Excuses are chains that lock you in place. They might sound harmless, just small reasons why you shouldn't take action, but in reality, they are silent killers of progress and dreams. If you're serious about success, here's an uncomfortable truth you need to face: excuses don't serve you. They only hold you back. Every excuse you make is a choice to settle for, less it's a decision to remain in your comfort zone instead of stepping up and taking control of your life. When you tell yourself, I don't have time, what you're really saying is, I don't want this badly enough. When you say, I'm not ready, you're admitting that fear is holding you back from trying. Excuses may feel like a shield, but in reality, they're a prison. Think about the excuses you've made in the past. Be brutally honest with yourself. Were they valid reasons, or were they convenient ways to avoid discomfort and hard work? Most of the time, excuses stem from fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But here's the truth: fear only has power if you let it. The moment you decide to act in spite of your fear, its grip begins to weaken. Eliminating excuses starts with one key principle: accountability. Own your choices, your actions, and your results. Stop blaming circumstances, people, or bad luck. Take a good hard look at your situation and say, this is on me. It might not feel good to admit at first, but it's empowering, and you take responsibility. You take back control. Excuses often stems themselves as logic. I'll start tomorrow because today is already halfway over. I can't do it because I don't have the resources. I'll wait until things calm down before I focus on this. These statements might sound reasonable, but they're just ways to delay what needs to be done. The truth is there will never be a perfect time. Waiting only wastes time. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. Start replacing excuses with solutions. Instead of saying, I don't have time, take a hard look at your schedule and figure out where you can create time. Maybe it's waking up earlier, cutting back on distractions, or becoming more efficient with your tasks. Instead of saying, I don't know how, commit to learning. The resources you need are out there. If you're willing to put in the effort, you'll figure it out. Eliminating excuses requires discipline. It's not easy, but it's absolutely necessary. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you're tired. It's what keeps you focused when distractions call. It's what pushes you forward when quitting seems like the easier option. The more disciplined you are, the less room there is for excuses. Another way to crush excuses is to remind yourself of your why. Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you? When your why is strong enough, excuses lose their power. If your goal is to improve your life, provide for your family, or achieve something meaningful, no excuse should be big enough to stand in your way. Eliminating excuses also means being honest with yourself about your priorities. If something truly matters to you, you'll find a way to make it happen. If it doesn't, you'll find an excuse. Ask yourself, how badly do I want this? If your answer is badly enough, then no excuse should stand a chance. Excuses may feel comfortable, but growth isn't supposed to be comfortable. Progress requires effort, sacrifice, and sometimes even a little pain. But the rewards of pushing through far outweigh the temporary relief of giving into an excuse. When you stop making excuses, you open the door to possibility. You begin to see what you're truly capable of. You realize that the only limits are the ones you place on yourself, and you learn that with enough effort, persistence, and belief in yourself, you can overcome almost anything. Imagine looking back on your life and knowing you gave it your all. In greatness lies the fear of failure, but the rewards of pushing through and working hard against it. That you didn't let excuses hold you back, that you didn't settle for less than you were capable of achieving. That feeling, the pride, the sense of accomplishment is worth every bit of discomfort you'll face along the way. So eliminate the excuses. Stop letting them control your life. Replace them with action, responsibility, and a commitment to your goals. The only thing standing between you and what you want is the excuse you're making right now. Number 6, push through the resistance with a strong mindset. Resistance is the invisible wall. It's that voice in your head that whispers, stop, quit, give up, because the path feels hard. The truth is everyone faces resistance. Resistance is a challenge that everyone faces, but what sets successful people apart is how they respond to it. Overcoming resistance requires a strong mindset. One doesn't crumble under pressure, but instead rises to meet it. Resistance can take many forms. It could be self-doubt, telling you that you're not good enough. It might be procrastination, convincing you that there's always tomorrow. It could be fatigue, urging you to take a break. No matter its form, resistance tests your determination. And the only way to overcome it is to push through. A strong mindset begins with having a clear purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Your reason needs to be compelling enough to carry you through the tough times. If your purpose is weak, resistance will prevail. But if your purpose is strong, it will provide the energy you need to keep moving when everything else tells you to stop. Preparation is another key element in developing a strong mindset. Resistance becomes heavier when you're unprepared. If you're working on a project, break it down into manageable steps to avoid feeling overwhelmed. If you're pursuing a goal, have a plan to guide your actions. When you understand what needs to be done and how to do it, resistance loses its power. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe you can't do something, you've already lost. But if you tell yourself that you can handle it, you shift your mindset to one of possibility. Positive self-talk isn't just motivational, it's a tool to retrain your mind. When resistance hits, remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome and how they've made you stronger. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe you can't do something, you've already lost. But if you tell yourself that you can handle it, you shift your mindset to one of possibility. Positive self-talk isn't just motivational, it's a tool to retrain your mind. When resistance hits, remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome and how they've made you stronger. Focus is your greatest weapon against resistance. The more you focus on the task at hand, the less room there is for distractions or doubts. Remove anything that pulls your attention away from your goal. This might mean setting boundaries with others, turning off your phone, or creating a dedicated workspace. The clearer your focus, the easier it becomes to push through. Building a strong mindset also requires patience. Resistance doesn't disappear overnight. It takes time to develop the mental toughness needed to overcome it. Be patient with yourself, but avoid letting that patience turn into complacency. Keep moving forward. Even if progress feels slow, each step you take weakens resistance. Finally, embrace discomfort. Resistance feeds on the desire to avoid pain, difficulty, uncertainty, but growth comes from facing these challenges head on. The more you push through uncomfortable situations, the stronger and more resilient you become. Discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of overcoming it are lasting. Resistance often feels strongest when you're on the brink of success. It's the final test to see if you're truly committed. This is the moment when most people give up, but it's precisely when you need to dig in and push harder. Remind yourself that every bit of effort brings you closer to your goals. Surround yourself with people who inspire strength and resilience. A strong mindset isn't developed in isolation. Seek out those who challenge, encourage, and remind you of your potential. Having a support system can make all the difference. When resistance feels overwhelming, practicing gratitude can further strengthen your mindset. Resistance often makes you focus on what's difficult or what's missing, but shifting your perspective to appreciate what you have and the progress you've made helps maintain motivation. Gratitude allows you to see the bigger picture and reminds you of your ultimate goal. Pushing through resistance is a conscious choice. It's not always easy or enjoyable, but it's necessary for achieving your goals. Strong mindset doesn't mean you never encounter resistance. It means you don't let it stop you. It means acting even when you don't feel like it. Refusing to give up no matter how tough it gets. Remember, resistance is temporary. It may feel overwhelming in the moment, but it's just a hurdle, not a permanent roadblock. The more you push through, the stronger you become, and the easier it gets to face future challenges. Each time you overcome resistance, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Next, let's discuss how to remove distractions from your environment to achieve something meaningful. Focus is essential, but it's almost impossible to stay focused if you're constantly surrounded by distractions. Distractions steal your time, energy, and attention. They pull you away from your goals, and before you know it, hours or days can pass without any real progress. The key to overcoming resistance and staying productive is creating an environment that supports focus. First, understand that distractions are everywhere. They can come in the form of noise, people, digital devices, or even your own thoughts. The world is full of things vying for your attention, and it's easy to get distracted. But if you are serious about reaching your goals, you must recognize distractions for what they are: obstacles standing between you and success. Start by evaluating your physical environment. Look around and identify potential distractions. A cluttered workspace, messy room, or uncomfortable chair can divert your attention, but it's hard to stay focused when you're constantly reminded of things that need fixing. Clean up your space to make it more conducive to concentration. A clean, organized environment will help you stay focused and set the tone for productivity. Next, consider digital distractions. Your phone, computer, and other devices can easily steal your focus. Social media, notifications, emails, and messages can derail your entire day. You have to reduce distractions, set boundaries with technology, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and schedule designated times to check emails or social media when you work. Be fully present. This will create space for focus. The people around you can also contribute to distractions. If you're surrounded by individuals who don't support your goals or who constantly interrupt you, it's time to make some changes. Let others Know that your focus is important, that you need uninterrupted time to work. If possible, find a quiet space to work away from those who might pull you into conversations or other activities. It's okay to set boundaries. Your time and energy are valuable, and you can't afford to let anyone waste them. Sometimes distractions come from within your own thoughts, can pull you away from the task at hand, worrying about the future, stressing over what's going wrong, or getting lost in negative thoughts can drain your energy. That's why mental clarity is crucial. You need to quiet the noise in your mind and focus on what's in front of you. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, or even just taking a moment to breathe can help clear your mind and bring your attention back to where it needs to be. Creating a distraction-free environment doesn't happen overnight. It requires intention, discipline, and a commitment to your goals. However, once you begin removing distractions, you'll notice increased productivity, sharper focus, and faster progress. One effective way to eliminate distractions is by scheduling your time. Time blocking is a technique where you dedicate specific blocks of time to particular tasks. This keeps you on track and prevents distractions from pulling you away. When you have a clear plan with a structured schedule, there's less room for distractions to interfere. You can also use tools like apps that block distracting websites, productivity timers, or task management tools. To stay focused, these tools act as reminders, holding you accountable to your goals and keeping you on track. Another important strategy is setting clear goals. When you have a defined sense of purpose, distractions lose their power. They no longer seem as important because you know exactly what you're working toward. A clear goal serves as motivation, making it easier to ignore things that could pull you off course. Equally important is the role of rest. Overworking yourself is a distraction itself. When you're tired, your focus wanes. Productivity suffers. Be sure to take regular breaks and get enough sleep. A well-rested mind is more focused and better able to handle tasks effectively. Beating a distraction-free environment is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you want to succeed, you must guard your focus fiercely. Distractions are the enemies of success, always trying to pull you off track. But when you take control of your environment, you take control of your results. Now let's talk about using the pain of inaction as motivation. Inaction erodes your confidence, your future, and your potential. It breeds regret, frustration, and the constant feeling that you're not living up to your true capabilities. And let me tell you, there's no pain like the pain of knowing you could have done more but chose not to. Inaction is a slow burn. It doesn't hit you all at once. Inaction doesn't leave a bruise or a scar that's immediately visible. But over time, it builds up and you begin to feel its weight. The longer you delay action, the harder it becomes to get started. You start to feel stuck, trapped in the comfort of doing nothing, yet deep down you know this comfort is a lie. It's not the comfort of progress, but the comfort of avoidance. And that avoidance comes with a steep cost. The pain of inaction is the pain of missed opportunity. Think about the chances you've let slip away because you hesitated. Opportunities to grow, to learn, to improve. Each moment spent sitting on the sidelines is a moment you'll never get back. When you realize that it hits hard, the pain of inaction isn't the absence of effort, it's the quiet realization that you could have done more. You didn't. This is why you need to use that pain as fuel. Let it drive you. When that sting of regret starts to creep, and use it as a reminder of what's at stake. This isn't just about getting things done, it's about avoiding the deeper pain of wondering what could have been. If you'd acted sooner, the longer you delay, the greater the regret will be. And trust me, regret is far worse than any struggle you'll face in the process of taking action. And action also breeds complacency. You start to tell yourself that your current situation is good enough, that it's fine to stay where you are, but that's dangerous. Complacency is the silent killer of dreams. It convinces you that staying the same is okay, when in reality you're settling for far less than you deserve. The pain of staying stagnant, of letting time pass without action, is a feeling you'll come to know well. It's a constant reminder that you're capable of so much more, but You're choosing to do nothing about it. This is where true motivation comes in. Instead of focusing on the effort needed to get things done, focus on the consequences of inaction. What will your life look like a year from now? If you keep waiting, what about in 5 or 10 years will you be further along or stuck in the same place filled with regret and frustration? The pain of inaction isn't something you want to carry with you. And the best way to avoid that is by taking AC action, even when it feels uncomfortable. The key to using the pain of inaction is to embrace it, let it fuel you, and become the driving force that pushes you to take that first step, even when it seems impossible. The discomfort of acting is nothing compared to the discomfort of regret. The road to success is built on action. And you can't reach your destination if you're too afraid to take that first step. So feel the pain of inaction and let it fuel you to move forward. When the weight of not acting feels heavy, remind yourself of the bigger picture. You're not just taking action for today, but for the life you want to create. You're working toward a future that's worth fighting for. And in order to get there, you must leave the comfort of inaction behind. Use that discomfort as motivation, not as an excuse to stop. There will always be reasons to wait, excuses to put things off. But these excuses are just distractions from the real pain. You're avoiding the pain of realizing that time is slipping away and you're doing nothing about it. Don't let that become your reality. The pain of inaction will never disappear on its own, but the pain of action will eventually fade, leaving you with the satisfaction of knowing you took control of your future. When you feel stuck or overwhelmed, remind yourself of the alternative, the pain of not acting. Let that be their reminder that you're not just working for today, but for your future. Every step you take now, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you meant to be. The pain of taking action might sting in the moment. The pain of inaction will last far longer. Don't let it control your life. Take the pain of inaction and transform it into your greatest motivator. Don't let it paralyze you. Let it ignite the fire inside you to keep going, to push forward, because when you look back, you'll be proud of the steps you took, not the ones you hesitated to make. Number 9, remind yourself of the end result. When you're in the middle of a task, it's easy to lose sight of why you're doing it. The grind can feel overwhelming and the road ahead might seem long and unclear. But here's the key: if you want to keep moving forward, if you want to force yourself to get things done, you need to stay connected to the end result, the vision of where you're headed. Think about what success looks like for you. Visualize it clearly. Picture the life you've always wanted, the achievements you're working for, and the fulfillment you'll feel when it's all accomplished. Keep that image and feeling at the forefront of your mind. ESP, especially when the effort feels too heavy or the task seems too difficult, bring the vision into focus. It serves as a reminder that every ounce of work you put in now is getting you closer to something bigger than today. When you lose sight of your goal, doubt, frustration start to creep in and you begin to question if it's all worth it. But the truth is, it always is. Every single step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to where you want to be. Remind yourself of that. When things get tough, focus on the struggle, focus on the results, focus on the person you'll become by staying committed. The opportunities that will open up and the satisfaction you'll feel when you've accomplished what you set out to do. It's not just about the destination, it's about the person you become in the process, the strength you develop, the skills you acquire, and the confidence that grows inside you. Every sacrifice, every challenge you face is shaping you into someone better. When you remind yourself of this, the pain of effort starts to feel worthwhile because you know you're becoming someone greater, someone who doesn't back down, someone gets things done. The key is to make the end result so clear in your mind that it drives you. Don't just think about the reward, think about how amazing it will feel to know that you did everything you could to achieve it. The satisfaction of finishing what you started is one of life's greatest feelings. Remind yourself of that often, because that's the motivation that will keep you going when things get tough and you know where you're headed and what's waiting for you at the finish line. Every setback becomes just another challenge to overcome. Instead of getting discouraged by obstacles, you'll get motivated to push harder, because you understand that it's all part of the journey. The end result is always worth the challenges along the way. Also understand this: the journey doesn't end when you reach your goal. It's the foundation for your next steps and future achievements. The person you become after overcoming the obstacles you face now will be stronger, more resilient, and better prepared for what's ahead, so keep that vision of success close. Keep it in your mind when things get difficult, and let it pull you forward when you feel like stopping. Success is never easy. It's the result of constant effort, focus, and consistent work. But when you remind yourself of what you're building and what's waiting for you on the other side, the effort feels lighter, the task becomes clearer, and that vision keeps you moving even when you want to quit. So take the time to truly picture it, the freedom, the pride, the sense of accomplishment, every bit of hard work, and every challenge is part of the bigger picture. Remind yourself daily of what you're working toward. Keep it in front of you, and don't let distractions or setbacks shift your focus. The end result is more than worth it. It's your reason for doing what you're doing right now. Number 10, reward yourself for progress. One thing people often forget when chasing their goals is the importance of celebrating the small wins. Too many people wait until they achieve the big goal before allowing themselves to feel good about their progress, but that's a mistake. You want to keep moving forward. You need to recognize every step you take toward your goal. Understand that every bit of progress counts, no matter how small it may seem. It's easy to get caught up in the bigger picture and focus only on the end result. But the truth is that the path to success is made up of small, consistent steps. Every time you complete a task, finish a chapter, or reach a milestone, it's a victory. These small victories add up over time and lead to the larger success you're aiming for. Rewarding yourself isn't about being complacent. It's about staying motivated and maintaining momentum. When you take the time to recognize your progress, you're reinforcing the behavior that leads to success. It's a way to celebrate your commitment and hard work and remind you that the effort you're putting in is paying off. Small rewards along the way can keep you going even when the journey feels long or difficult. When you hit a small milestone, don't just brush it off and move on. Take a moment to appreciate it. Give yourself permission to feel proud of what you've accomplished, whether it's treating yourself to something small, taking a break to enjoy your favorite activity, simply acknowledging the hard work you've put in. It all counts. These rewards serve as reminders that progress is happening, even when it feels like you're still far from the end. The key to this is consistency. You don't need to reward yourself after every task, but after every significant step forward. The more consistently you recognize your progress, the more motivated you'll feel to keep pushing toward the next goal. Celebrating small wins helps you stay grounded. It gives you the chance to reflect on how far you've come, which boosts your confidence and reinforces your belief that you're capable of even more. Rewards also help keep your mind in a positive state. If you're constantly focused on what still needs to be done without giving yourself credit for what you've already achieved, you'll start to feel overwhelmed. But when you take the time to reward yourself, you allow your mind the chance to recharge and refocus. Another reason to reward yourself is that it helps build the right kind of habit. When you associate progress with positive reinforcement, it becomes easier to keep moving forward. The brain loves rewards, it craves them. So when you tie progress to something enjoyable, you reinforce the behavior and make it more likely that you'll keep taking action every time you push through a tough task. And reward yourself. You're teaching your brain that hard work leads to a payoff, which makes it easier to tackle the next challenge. And the one after that, over time, these rewards help you build the habit of consistently taking action toward your goals. But remember, the reward doesn't always have to be something external. The greatest reward can come from within. It's the sense of satisfaction that comes with knowing you gave it your all, that you stayed focused and made progress. Internal rewards are just as important as external ones, and they'll help you build resilience over time as you continue your journey. Never forget to celebrate your progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goal. When you reward yourself, you're reminding yourself that you're on the right path. So take a moment to appreciate how far you've come and let that appreciation fuel your drive to keep going. The more you acknowledge your progress, the more you will achieve. And that, my friend, is worth celebrating. Let me leave you with this thought: success doesn't belong to those who wait for the perfect conditions. It belongs to those who take action, no matter how imperfect or uncalm it may feel. Think about the most successful people you admire. They weren't always confident or motivated. They had moments of doubt. Just like you, the difference: they move forward. Despite those feelings, every great achievement in history started with a single step. It's not about taking a giant leap overnight. It's about committing to consistent, small actions that compound over time. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment to start. Waiting for the stars to align only delays your progress. The only perfect time to take action is now. But here's the secret: failure is not the opposite of success. It's a critical part of it. Every failure is a lesson, and every lesson gets you closer to your goal. Stop overthinking, stop questioning your ability, stop waiting for a sign. The sign you've been looking for is already here. It's this moment right now. The hardest part is always the beginning, the first workout, the first page you write, the first tough conversation you have. But once you take that first step, momentum takes over and everything gets easier. Imagine looking back a year from now. Do you want to be proud of how far you've come, or regret the time you wasted wishing you had started sooner? The choice is yours. Action builds confidence. Confidence doesn't come from waiting or hoping. It comes from proving to yourself over and over again that you can do hard things. Remember, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know every step of the journey. You just need to focus on the next right step. That's all it takes. Your future self is counting on you. Person you dream of becoming needs you to show up today. Even if it's hard, even if you don't feel ready, you are capable of more than you realize. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't start. Change begins the moment you decide it's time. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after you feel ready. It begins the moment you commit to taking action now. Life is short. Every day you wait is a day you can't get back. Don't let fear or doubt rob you of the future you deserve. Think of this as your turning point, the moment you stop waiting and start doing. The moment you take full control of your destiny. You owe it to yourself to see what's possible, to test your limits, to discover just how far you can go. When you stop holding yourself back, the world is waiting for your greatness. Your unique talents and gifts have the power to make an impact, but only if you take action and put them into motion. So here's your challenge. Take one step today. Just when it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be now. Let this video be more than just words. Let it be the spark that ignites a fire within you, a fire that pushes you to act, to grow, and to become the person you've always dreamed of being. Remember, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by action, not excuses. It's not about feeling ready. It's about choosing to move forward one step at a time. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. The time to act is now. And finally, if this message resonated with you, don't let it stop here. Share it with someone who needs it. Leave a comment with the action you're committing to today. Subscribe for more inspiration, and most importantly, take the first step, because your journey to greatness begins now.